Welcome to the Fireside Chat for Fitness and Nutrition with Adrienne and Ken. Today we're going to be talking about how to build a good morning routine. And we're going to share a little bit about our morning routines and then encourage you and give you some steps as to how to build your own. Ken, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, Adrienne, I do. So I'm an early bird. I've always been an early bird. And the older I get, the more it seems like night owl is not for me. So the early bird is I tend to thrive early in the morning. And it's helpful or not helpful, which however you want to look at it. It says I have a dog, and when I get used to getting up, and when he gets used to getting up in a specific time, he wants to get up at that time every single day and wants to go out and so forth. So I usually get up between 3:30 and 4:30, depending on what my first client is, and walk the dog. So that's good exercise a little bit. So it starts out to be, so I have a little bit of exercise, get done walking him, then I have my morning breakfast. And I typically have somewhat similar breakfast every morning. I have oatmeal, and then I have with that I put a little bit of cinnamon in it, so it tastes good. Helps with the taste. I put a banana, either blackberries or raspberries, and blueberries. Kind of a concoction there. That's what I have for breakfast. And then I'll have my morning clients and kind of go from there. And then throughout the day, it's very similar in what I eat. I don't know if we want to talk about throughout the whole day or just in the morning.
I mean, you can kind of give the shape of your day if you want to.
Yeah. So the rest of my eating habits are, I don't have time to work out in the morning, so most of the time I'll work out in the mid-afternoon. So before I do that, I'll have a lunch, and at lunch typically I usually have a form of carbohydrate, which is mostly rice, either brown rice, or I do eat white rice as well. I have some chicken, some form of chicken typically, and some form of vegetable, which is either broccoli or cauliflower or carrots or a combination thereof. And then I'll have my evening meal is usually a sort of a mirror image of my lunch. And if I do have snacks, it'll be maybe a little cashews or maybe an apple. And that's typically what I eat throughout the day. And again, my workout is, in the afternoon, to say about 1 or 2 o'clock. It's in my experience, it's good to set up a routine so that your body is kind of used to it and you feel good. When you're done, it's just very accomplishing. I don't know if you have an iPhone, but I have an iPhone, and lately I've noticed I've been tracking how do you feel about your day or about your moments right now or the last, about what you're doing right now. And it's kind of helpful in tracking, how you're progressing, or how you're doing during the day. Why do you feel that way? It asks, they have different categories. Is it fitness? Is it goals? Is it family? Is it just relaxing? So it's pretty cool. But that, and then once I get done exercising, I'll log in how I feel, and I always feel good after exercise, and I always feel typically good from what I'm eating. Once in a while, I'll have something that is sweet, but I've made a kind of a deal with my daughter that we would have one dessert a week.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that's good or bad, or I think that's it's better than what I used to have. I like, yeah. Well, it's not easy. It's sometimes if I have 2 in 1 week, I have to go another week without having not having sweets, without having dessert. So it's a challenge, but hey, life's a challenge. Might as well make it to where you feel good doing it. So anyway, that's kind of my day's routine, or how I do things. But it's a consistent routine, and it's helpful again that I have a dog that wants to get up and makes me get up every day. And eating is important in how you feel. if I eat too much or if I eat the wrong things, my body will let me know, and I'll say, "Oh, don't do that anymore. Don't do that again." And sometimes, most of the time, I'll listen. Sometimes I don't. Okay, I gotta have that that sweet. And this is what this also happens to me. If I have chocolate too many days in a row, my stomach will be upset. If I have it like 3 days in a row, so sometimes just listen to your body.
Yeah, that could be another whole podcast we'll talk about.
Good.
But
Anyway,
I like what you said, like life is a challenge, and then like to add on, we're like, but a morning routine makes it a little bit easier, doesn't it?
It does. If you know what you're going to expect to do, your body knows it expects. It makes it easier to go through it. Yes. What about you, Adrienne?
I think it also helps with like decision fatigue, which we'll talk about in a second here. I was going to start with my life before a morning routine and what that looked like, and maybe some of you guys can relate.
Yeah, please.
There would be inconsistent wake times. Sometimes I'd get up at 6 a.m. or 8:45 or 11. I don't wake up at 4, generally speaking. You're early bird than I am.
Well, it's just
But like
necessity.
that inconsistent wake time and sleep time, also left us feeling discombobulated on the days that we'd sleep in till 11 versus the days we'd wake up at 6. And then we would also feel stressed because we'd try to fit in all of our appointments, especially at 11, trying to get things done by noon or to do tasks. And then at night, it was actually even worse because we'd work into the night and then create this problem of waking up later or having these inconsistent wake times. Number 2, adrenaline rushes. I don't know, again, if anybody can relate to this. And part of it was probably addictive in a sense of like, oh, I'm going to wait till the absolute last minute and then grab my coffee and my tea and find my keys and everything. Trying to grab all my work materials, find the outfit that we were planning to wear was actually in the laundry. Like, trying to figure out how to get an alternative for the clothes, looking for keys. That was a big one. Getting an umbrella, hoping and praying that traffic would like allow us to get our meetings on time. Mornings were full of stress and anxiety, I would say, particularly before a morning routine. And then the third part that I noticed of not having a morning routine is that I would forget water and or lunch. And so then I'd either skip lunch or I'd end up paying $13 or $20 for a lunch when I had perfectly good food at home. Or I'd be dehydrated or go buy $5 water. Again, just like not planning led to some stress and not taking care of my own body. It also led to food waste and spending money that I really didn't need to spend because I already had the groceries at home. So I would say that this way of living before a morning routine cost me time and peace and money. And I decided something needed to change. So I was like, all right, let's do this part. Now I'll tell you, my first attempts with a morning routine were not so great. You can read about this in an article where I was like, all right, I'm going to wake up at 5 to go to the boxing gym every day. I did this during the winter, so it was snow and ice. And I would just say, spoiler alert, it did not work because one, it didn't fit with our life or our sleep schedule because I didn't go to bed at 8 or 9, to allow me to wake up feeling refreshed at 5 a.m. 2, I like food. So the problem was fueling ourselves for this class, and I didn't want to force myself to eat at 5. And then generally I'd get like lightheaded or I'd skip breakfast and then I just felt terrible. So I would say, like, you have to play around with this. That will be one of the tips that we give. Like, you have to figure out the times that work for you, when you want to do your activity. But let me just also say there are benefits to a morning routine. I'll tell you a little bit about mine. So I don't have a dog, but I do have bunnies, and you'll see how they fit into this in a minute. So I like alliteration. So number 1, I call it wash and water. So brushing teeth, drinking a cup of water before jumping into exercise. That's number 2. Strength training and skincare. Usually I would do either a very short podcast or some music and then some squats, push-ups, bridges, superhumaning, where you lift up your arms and your legs, pull-ups. And I would do this for about 6 minutes just to kind of like get blood flowing. And then I would do my skincare. So like face cream, all that kind of stuff, get dressed. Then number 3 is bunnies and breakfast. So I have 2 bunnies and I would let one out because they're unbonded. I can't have them both out in the house at the same time. So let one out and then I'm making breakfast. I switch them out. And then I call the last one, step 4, launch into life. That's where I go into the office. I look at the calendar for the day, the most important goals, the tasks. I put the phone on airplane mode if I need to, and I will also schedule breaks to do sort of household tasks like laundry or something. And I wouldn't say that this is a perfect morning routine, and I'm telling you the order. So some days I still wake up at 9 or 7 or 11, but the order never really changes for me. So that's one thing that you guys can consider too. So even if you do have an inconsistent work schedule that leads to an inconsistent life schedule, that's fine. You can still make it work for you. Now, the benefits are definitely, I would say, many, but we'll go over a few. You're on autopilot and everything flows a little bit more seamlessly when your keys are where they're supposed to be, when you feed the dog and you get dressed and you check your voicemail, it's all settled. And the feeling is generally one of peace with a well-planned routine. So you can feel scattered and stressed. I've been there. Or you can choose to enjoy your cup of coffee or tea and know that you're ready for the day. That is a totally different feeling and it's so nice. And the third part is feeling organized about your day. So you can see your activities, your appointments laid out, and you have a plan to achieve your most important goals. You can even build in self-care, like I mentioned. And that, I think, is why it's worth trying the benefits of a morning routine. Should we add anything to this? Any questions? I mean, we don't have questions for each other about this, do we?
No. I like the 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Yep. So, and that's what you do. That's excellent. So the better prepared you are, the better performance you will have, and the less stress you'll have too.
So hopefully we've convinced you guys of the benefits. In terms of how to set up your own morning routine, I would say maybe a good place to start is just writing down what your current morning routine looks like. And then with what you mentioned, Ken, checking in with your feelings about like, oh, where is it? It's like, I'm at 10 o'clock. I just did this. This is why I feel stressed or frustrated or overwhelmed. If you pair those two things together, you'll have that awareness to say, all right, maybe I don't want to live like this, or what could I do to make sure that my clothes are set for me tomorrow? Maybe you set them out instead of trying to go through the laundry. And then also just realizing maybe whether you are a early bird or a night owl, and then plan accordingly, because Richard Branson and Tony Robbins, they have these wonderful 3-hour-long morning routines. Most of us don't have that, going on for ourselves. However, you can still take elements of what either we've discussed or what these people do for their morning routines, and then just build that into your life, even if you don't have a dog or bunnies forcing you to do things.
Right.
Anything that you'd like to add, Ken?
Just be consistent. That's all.
I just choose one thing, right?
One thing. Exactly.
And you
right.
can all have much more peace in your mornings too, and get so much more done. Be productive. So if you have any questions, or if you want to add maybe what you've done for your morning routine or something that worked or didn't work for you, we would love to hear it. And if you also have any topics that you would like us to cover in future podcasts, please type that in below. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week. Take care. We have a 90-day VIP program, and this is all about knee surgery prep and recovery. So we want to make sure that you have the best outcomes by having your own virtual personal trainer and your own dietitian nutritionist who's going to help coach you. So by integrating these services that we're going to offer with your doctor's care, you will have a lot of potential benefits, including customized diet and exercise plans to help you get ready for the surgery, and then afterwards the surgery, dealing with things like inflammation or limited mobility and how to get that strength back into the knee, for example, and the muscles surrounding it. We can also help create routines that focus on strengthening certain specific muscles, like I said, reducing inflammation and excess weight to help your knees not be so stressed out. And we're also going to improve flexibility and enhance your overall health. What else are we going to do, Ken?
Well, yeah, you said a lot. That's good. Injury prevention and rehabilitation for sure. If you're getting scheduled for knee replacement, let's just say, you want to strengthen those muscles around the joint so that it's easier for you to recover. So the stronger the muscle is before you go in, the easier it is to rehabilitate that because it's already programmed. It's already programmed in the muscle and the nerves and so forth. So it's a good thing. You want that. Your muscles want that. They desire that, and the rehabilitation will be so much easier. And with a trainer specifically, we can guide you. I can guide you through the proper form and techniques in reducing your risk of further injury as well. So, what else you got, Adrienne?
Another great benefit of this program is that we do everything virtually. So you can get your virtual health coaching and your virtual personal training so that you can do it from home, from your couch,
Don't have to go anywhere.
You.
Don't have to go anywhere for sure. Yeah, that leads into motivation and accountability. So we provide personal one-on-one motivation and support, and with regular check-ins, and we track your progress and set you up with goals and make sure that you're on track and making the progress that you need to make in order to go forward.
And a key part of this is that it's holistic too. So there's a difference between going to our doctors or orthopedic surgeons and, getting news that we're going to get a surgery, and then just kind of like prepping in terms of having some meals made or people to kind of help out. But what you really want is to have this combined dietary part and this personal training part along with your doctor, so that you have all three on your team. And by doing this, clients can have better posture, they can lose weight, reduce inflammation and pain, have increased strength and overall well-being. So you are like hitting the ground running. So you're prepping, you get the surgery, and then you're done and you have support to just get on with the rest of your life. So right. I think it's a great program.
I do too.
And it's only $14.97 for the whole 90-day program. And it includes one-on-one support with your nutrition coach and also your personal trainer. You'll get 9 sessions total. And we are here to help you thrive.
Yes, we are.